to the Canucks. What are your thoughts on what the Canucks have done thus far this offseason?
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet. I think in many ways I expected that. And one of the upsides there is that they haven't done anything foolish that has put them behind the eight ball in a rising cap economy. They've been able to clear this cap space that I think we're all waiting to see what they do with it. And so that's why the Dakota Joshua trade in isolation, it is hard to assess because I think there has to be another skate to drop in that sense. And it's a question of, does it happen before the start of the season? Does it happen closer to the start of the season when other teams maybe find themselves in a bit of a cap crunch, or do they wait into the season? And certainly we've seen over the last 3 years that this management group is not only not afraid, but I think looks forward to the opportunity to pull off significant in-season trades. And so, it's more than just a track record. There is a pattern there that if they hold on to this cap space, I know last year they accrued the cap space and they ultimately didn't use it. This is a pretty important year, I think, to prove to Quinn Hughes and others that this team can get things moving back in the right direction. So when I look at the month of July, I didn't expect an awful lot in free agency. They made the Evander Kane trade before July. So Pia Suter and Dakota Joshua are out. There are a couple of fringe pieces that have been brought in since then. And, it really feels to me like this management group is banking on good health and good vibes. And I don't know that that's necessarily a foolproof plan to have success in the National Hockey League, but I do look at a team like Calgary last year where I remember all the talk last summer was how bad the Flames are going to be and, what direction are they going? Well, Dustin Wolf emerges as this incredible goaltender. And, they were built from the back end when you look at Mackenzie Weegar and Rasmus Anderson and a few others. And then they just had belief. And I think they took on this idea that nobody's given us a chance. Like, we're going to prove some people and shove it in their face. And ultimately, they finished ahead of the Canucks. Now, I mean, the Canucks on the surface look like they've got way more talent than the Calgary Flames. So, I'm careful when I use that as an example, but I do think it's a lot of the same things that were being said about the Flames last year are being said about the Canucks. It's just that the Canucks were a 109-point team not that long ago. Can they get back anywhere close to that level? I guess I'm sort of guarded in my prediction, but I could sit here and I think build you a fairly compelling case of how they can be a playoff team at the very least, but the goal shouldn't be about sneaking into the playoffs and grabbing that final wild card spot. People in this market want to see a plan. They want to see, incremental success. They want to see playoffs every year for a bunch of years, something that hasn't happened since, you got to go back to, I guess, 2013 when they got swept by San Jose, and before that got upset